Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is where I talk to you guys about being a place-based owner. Specifically, I'm talking to you guys today about the economic injury relief loan that I received and also PPP. I got both. So I wanted to kind of clarify some things to help you guys if you have not received the loan. I'm Tammy and I own a space in Elk Grove, California called Imagine Play. Okay, so let's talk about economic injury relief first. I got the loan and not the grant. The grant is what's forgiven, and I think the grant is what gives you $1K per employee. I don't have that, I have the loan. So the loan is actually a 30-year loan. I got mine at 3.75%. It's not due until 12 months later, and it's for 30 years. So it makes a payment very, very manageable, especially if you're getting a large sum. Let me talk to you guys a little bit about my story regarding the economic injury relief loan. I actually applied for that, I think like March 16th. It was like the Monday after everything kind of closed down, or everything was mandated to close down. And I didn't really hear back from them until about a month later. Around that time, they approved me for 2 times my payroll plus 10K around there. And once they approved me for that, they sent me paperwork on my email. I was able to upload all the documents online. They made it really easy and seamless. And it took about, I would say, 2 weeks from that phone call to when I got funded in my bank account. About a week later, I got a phone call from an SBA rep and they said they wanted to approve me for more money. So at that time, I think they were anticipating that a lot of states were gonna be closed much longer. And as you know, as a small business, 2.5 a payroll plus 10K, it's not really a lot of money, especially since I'm in California. California has already been closed almost 3 months. And my business in particular is not in a stage where it will be open very soon. I anticipate that we can't fully return to our services until probably about August or September. So that's about 6 months for us. So with the original loan, it wasn't really gonna be enough to like really sustain my business. So I was really happy that they actually approved me for more. What I really didn't like about the process of the modification was that they sent me a packet in the mail and I had to return it back to them via mail. And I just wish they would have just did everything online. So it really made no sense that half of it was done online, half of it has to be sent to me to re-sign, just because my loan officer was very particular about how I scanned the documents back, and she wanted me to scan all the pages and not just one of the pages, which makes no sense because I'm like, you guys have all the pages. Why do I have to rescan the pages? You should only need the one that I signed. But the only downside of having a larger loan with SBA is that they actually have you record a lien on your business. So just know that going into that, if you are gonna be wanting to get that extra loan from SBA, which I foresee a lot of businesses needing and probably will be getting. Now let's talk about PPP. I also received PPP. My PPP story is actually quite interesting. I applied at 5 different banks. I bank with Bank of America, and originally Bank of America said they wouldn't take my application because I didn't have a business loan with them, even though I had a business checking with them. So then I applied at US Bank because at that time, US Bank was actually taking applications of customers that weren't currently their customers. But in the end, US Bank, their system is jacked up because every single time they would send me an email saying, hey, we're ready to receive your loan documents, they would give me some sort of passcode, but my passcode would never work. So I was never ever actually able to go forward my application process with them. Eventually, Bank of America opened up their application to me, and I finally was able to apply. I actually went through the process of uploading all my documents to Bank of America. Until this day, which has already been like 2 months, I've not heard anything back from them. So because of that, I applied at Square, which is who I use as my payment processor, and I applied at Cabbage as well. Both Square and Cabbage came back with saying that I already had an application in with somebody else and they couldn't process my application. Well, at that time, I didn't know, but my application was already approved by another bank that I had applied with, and it was just a one-off bank. I received this email from Lending Tree saying this bank was accepting applications, and then I just applied for it. Never heard of the bank, don't even know where they're located, but the process was so easy with them. I applied with them online. They sent me paperwork via e-sign. I was funded like within 1.5 weeks. So if you are struggling with your PPP right now, definitely look into applying for a small bank that maybe you've never heard of, because those banks are probably the ones that are going to be funding you and they're going to do it fast. The one thing I will say about PPP is I find it really interesting that all the banks are not approving you for the same amount. Do you guys notice that? If you're applying for multiple banks, for instance, US Bank, Bank of America, Square, Cabbage, all approve me for all different amounts. This kind of concerns me because it feels like all the banks are kind of confused on what the qualifications are on regarding the PPP, the loan itself, how much is supposed to be approved. So that brings me back to the PPP being forgiven, right? So if all the banks are approving you for different amounts, does that mean that they're going to be a little bit more strict, or they're not going to really understand on how things are forgiven? Also, I looked into the links that the SBA put up regarding the forgiveness of PPP, and it seems like they're making it really confusing. It's not as simple as like 75% goes to payroll, 25% goes to rent and utilities. It sounds like they're saying that each employee is approved for a certain allotted amount that can be forgiven. So you have to schedule your employees based off of kind of like what they worked last year. And it also kind of sounds like if you weren't paying yourself net before, even if you're paying yourself now, it can't be forgiven. I don't know. It just seems really confusing. The other obstacle, as you guys might know, is that some states are not open yet, like my state, and PPP has to be used within 8 weeks. And if you aren't able to use it within 8 weeks, it cannot be forgiven. I received mine in my bank account, but my business is not open. So I could either pay my employees to not do anything, or I could take it as a loan. It sounds like in the end, a lot of businesses are end up gonna be taking it as a loan. And I'm just scared that for most businesses that this becomes kind of like a snowball or a domino effect. Because right now it is helping us because it's kind of, fulfilling the needs that we need at the moment. But if we can't catch up from the 3 months of debt that we are incurring currently right now, all it does is just accumulate at the end, and that is when it's gonna hit us hard. So that is basically kind of the gist of my PPP and my economic injury relief story. So hopefully that helps you in trying to kind of get some answers of what you're trying to do in your business right now. You're welcome to message me with any questions. You can follow me on Instagram at PlaySpaceOwner as well. Talk to you next time.